Hi, my name is Leslie Borgia, and I'm the tax manager at Neil Jasani Advisors. Here at Neil Jasani Advisors, we are a team of CPAs, tax attorneys, and financial planners working together to come up with the most tax advantageous strategies for our clients' unique situations. The purpose of these short videos are to answer some questions that are frequently asked in regards to personal and business tax returns. So let's dive into today's topic, which is the home office deduction. Are you qualified to take a deduction for the business use of your home? If so, how much can you deduct and how do you calculate the deduction? So if you're a self-employed business owner or independent contractor using a portion of your home for business-related purposes, you might be able to deduct expenses related to this business use of your home. For those that qualify, the home office deduction is a big deduction that people working from home can take. So who can claim the deduction? As I said, self-employed business owners as well as 1099 contractors are eligible to take the deduction if they meet certain requirements. And even though millions of Americans began working from home due to COVID, not everyone can take this deduction, and this includes W-2 employees receiving wages from an employer. They currently cannot take this home office deduction even if they are currently working remotely. So the IRS requires a few things in order to claim the deduction. The first is that you must be using a part of your home as a principal place of business. It doesn't have to be a part of your home per se. It could be a separate structure on your property, but it must be used as a principal place of business. This could be where your bookkeeping is done or where your inventory is being stored, but it has to be crucial to the furtherance of your business. So in addition to it being principal place, it needs to be used exclusively and regularly for this business purpose. So as I said, a principal place of business is a place where you conduct a lot of business, and the IRS will look at the importance of the activities performed there and how much time you spend at that location doing business-related activities. Exclusive is just that. It means that you cannot commingle business and personal space. The IRS is pretty serious about this requirement, and the code is clear. So for an example here, if you use your office to work out of 80 hours a week, but at nighttime you allow your kids to go in there to do their homework, you've already violated that exclusive use requirement. So you're really not eligible for that deduction. Also, it needs to be used regularly, which again would be a facts and circumstances analysis, the importance and the time spent. It must be continuing. It can't be just like a one-off meeting that occurs there. Now, as far as the exclusive use, there are two uncommon exceptions: inventory storage and daycare facilities. Inventory, if you're storing samples or inventory in your basement, you're permitted to use that space for personal storage. Similarly, if you have a daycare in your home that closes at 6 p.m., you can use that area after that time for personal entertainment and personal uses. So let's go over the checklist. So to get the home office deduction, you need to either be self-employed business owner, 1099 contractor, using a part of your home as a principal place of business exclusively, regularly for business purposes. Then you can get the home office deduction. So now we know if we qualify. How do you calculate it? It's pretty important. So right now there's two ways to calculate the home office deduction, and the taxpayer can change their methods year to year depending on if they move, they get a bigger house, they might want to change from simplified or actual to actual. So simplified is just that. It doesn't always yield the biggest deduction, but currently this year, the maximum deduction is $1,500 because the prescribed rate is $5 per square foot, and the IRS is capping the total office space at 300 square feet. So if you have a small office, that might be the way to go, but always calculate both methods. So if you wanted to go the actual expenses method, it's a lot more in detail, but look at what you can expense. Rent, mortgage interest, can't expense mortgage payments, just the interest, homeowner, rental insurance, HOAs, property taxes, and so on, depreciation as well. But that's something that I will discuss in a later video. And I also wanted to mention here, because you don't have to be the owner. You can actually be renting the space. As long as you're satisfying the other requirements under the test, you don't have to be a homeowner to claim the deduction. So how do we keep track? Well, you really should keep business and personal expenses separate as much as practicable. Obviously, there will be some overlap, but if you're using a cell phone for business purposes and personal purposes, it might be better to just have two separate phones, two separate bills, just to keep everything organized. So again, we're going to look at square footage of the home. However, there's really no limitation like as with Simplified. So you're going to calculate the square footage of the office within the square footage of the home to calculate the percentage. Here, simple example, 1,000 square foot office within a 4,000 square foot home gives you a 25% deduction of eligible expenses. So here, basically, you cannot deduct more than the equality of the gross income related to business expenses. So if the gross income equal or exceeds, then you can deduct all the business expenses. Simple. But if the income is less than the expenses, you can't go below zero. You're capped at, whatever that is that gets you all the way down to zero. So this flow chart here just kind of summarizes what I just said. Are you using a part of your home in connection to a trade or business? Yes. Are you using it as an employee? No. Are you using it regularly and exclusively? Is it a principal place of business? If it's not, then do you meet clients there? Yes. Okay, well, that's still okay. Is it a separate structure on your home? If yes, that's okay as long as you satisfy the other requirements. So I hope you learned something with this short video in regards to the home office deduction. However, nothing in this presentation constitutes investment, tax, or legal advice. It is in your best interest, and we strongly encourage you to seek your own counsel to evaluate the accuracy and completeness of any opinions provided in this presentation. If you'd like to learn more about Neil Jasani Advisors and how we are helping our clients, please visit our website at neiljassani.com.